Hello everyone, my name is Greg and today I would like to walk you through 5 questions from the latest instrumentation exams seen in the last 30 days. Topic for today are integrated instruments and electronic display. Question number 1. The Copilot's PFD LCD fails. What happens? The configuration is not possible since the screen is not working. The PFD of the Copilot is shown on the Copilot's ND. Reconfiguration is not required since the Captain's PFD is still working, or the PFD of the Copilot is shown on the Captain's ND. In case of PFD display unit failure, the PFD will be automatically transferred and displayed on the on-site ND. This is known as PFD ND reconfiguration. For example, in A320, the pilot can also make this transfer manually by selecting the brightness control knob to off, or by pressing the PFD ND transfer push button, which cross-changes the images between PFD and ND units. The latter method is also a way to have ND on PFD unit in case of an ND display unit failure. So, the correct answer is answer number 2. The PFD of the Copilot is shown on the Copilot's ND. And this answer is correct. Question number 2. A portable EFB cannot be carried, can be used in the aircraft but is not part of certified aircraft, can be carried in the aircraft and is part of the same certificate of airworthiness, cannot be carried unless it is stored in the pilot's flight bag. Okay, electronic flight bags we can divide into 2 types in terms of software and 2 classes when it comes to the hardware. First, let's look into the difference between Type Alpha and Type Bravo software. Type Alpha are applications whose misuse or malfunction has no adverse effect on flight safety. Type Bravo, on the other hand, are applications for which evaluation of the hazards presented by misuse or malfunction is required. Good example here can be any performance calculation software. It's worth to mention that, as a safety measure, EFBs can never send data to the aircraft, and only data flow from the aircraft to the EFB can be acceptable. Now, regarding the hardware of EFBs, we can distinguish 2 classes: portable and installed. Portable are basically in the form of portable electronic devices like iPads or tablets, and they are not a part of the certified aircraft configuration. Installed EFBs are the devices that are considered a part of an aircraft and are covered by the aircraft airworthiness approval, and these devices might be also a subject to MIM equipment list in case of a failure. Therefore, the correct will be answer number 2. A portable EFB can be used in the aircraft but is not a part of certified aircraft. And this answer is correct. Question number 3. Which of the following designs are typically used to present information on altitude on an EFIS-equipped aircraft? Altitude tape with a numerical readout of the current pressure altitude, indication of the minimum safe altitude, indication of the selected altitude, or means of highlighting the altitude if certain criteria are met. And we have 4 options that regroups all the options. Okay, firstly, the altitude is indeed presented as a tape with a numerical readout. Therefore, the first statement is without doubt correct. The next very important feature that I personally like very much is indication of the selected altitude, so-called bug. We can and should use bugs to indicate selected altitude, speed, or heading. It's an extremely useful tool regardless whether we fly manually or with automation. And the last feature is altitude alerting system. It alerts pilots whenever an aircraft is deviating or approaching the selected altitude. For example, in the Airbus aircraft, the altitude alerting system is triggered between 250 to 750 feet outside of selected altitude, and it's associated with both oral and visual alert. So, as we can see, the designs typically used to present information on altitude on an EFIS-equipped aircraft are 1. Altitude tape with numerical readout of the current pressure altitude, 3. Indication of the selected altitude, and 4. Means of highlighting the altitude if certain criteria are met. So, answer number 1 is correct. Question number 4. When the installed EFB has a malfunction, which of the following may be inoperative? Reception and transmission of CPD receive messages, automatic transmission of ACAS messages, takeoff and landing performance calculations, or display or ECAM or ICAS alerts. The main purpose of EFBs, so electronic flybags, is to make a flight deck paperless. That means that through EFB we have access to all necessary documents like certificates, manuals, or charts, as well as electronic versions of operational flight plans and load sheets. On EFB, we can also have aircraft's technical logbook, minimum equipment list, configuration division list, and many other useful tools. One of these tools are performance applications that in a very easy and user-friendly way produce all the necessary information for the calculations. We simply have to select airport, insert runway news, weather, aircraft's mass, and a few other important factors like, for example, intended configuration for takeoff or landing. The calculation can also take into consideration any malfunction if necessary. The result gives us, among other, speeds for takeoff and landing, so V1, VR, V2, or V approach, flex temperature for takeoff, or stop margins for landing or rejected takeoff. So, as you can see, the correct answer for this question is answer number 3. If the EFB has a malfunction, takeoff and landing performance calculations may be inoperative. And this is correct. The last 5th question. The following information can be displayed on the primary flight display: indicated airspeed, vertical speed, true airspeed, selected airspeed, or radio altitude. And the question is the combination that regroups all of the correct statement is, and we have 4 options. First, let's think which items from the listed here we definitely have on the PFD. So, first, every PFD has a speed tape on the left side that provides indicated airspeed. Second, to have an indication regarding our selected airspeed, we have at our disposal a speed bag. The third one is a vertical speed indicator on the right side of the PFD. And the fourth one is the radio altitude readout, which is provided in bottom part of the altitude indicator. The only option left that we usually won't find on the PFD is true airspeed. This indication usually belongs to the ND, so navigational display. But there is a catch. This is true only for a larger aircraft. Popular avionics, like for example Garmin G1000, provides task indication on PFD and not on MFD. So for this question, even though it's not written anywhere, we have to unfortunately make some assumptions. So in this case, the correct will be answer number 1. On PFD, we can find indicated airspeed, vertical speed, selected airspeed, and radio altitude. And this answer is correct as well. Okay, thank you very much for today, and see you next time.